Welcome to the Energy Connect studio at ADIPEC 2022. I'm delighted to have sitting next to me Emmanuel Ellenberg, Cementing Product Manager, SLB.
Absolutely, you got that correct, Julian, and thank you very much for having me.
So glad you could come around the studio. Can you share with us a little bit about the recent new technology developments happening in the cementing chemistry sphere at SLB?
Absolutely, Julian, and thank you for the great question. So, over the last few years, we've been quite active, I have to say, when it comes to developing new chemistry for cementing. I'd like to mention two of those, right? The first one, what we call our SEM-FIT-HEAL system, which is actually a system exhibiting both super mechanical properties in terms of flexibility and self-healing. And it's also bringing CO2 reduction, thanks to the fact that it's less relying on Portland cement. Another technology I'd like to talk about is what we call Evercrete self-healing. And this is our solution for CO2-rich environments,
right.
Which is typically fit for carbon capture and storage applications.
Interesting. And talking about the cementing technologies you just did there, you cannot avoid the word cement, which is obviously recognized as a CO2 emitter in so many industries, including the energy world. What are your sustainability initiatives that you are taking at SLB when it comes to cementing solutions?
Right. So you're right. Despite the fact that well construction activities overall are responsible for, give or take, 10 to 15% of the total life of the well emissions, it's correct to recognize cement as an emitter of CO2, and so there are multiple things we've been doing in this area. I'll start by mentioning our portfolio of transition technologies. And these two technologies I just talked about, SEM-FIT-HEAL and Evercrete self-healing, are part of that. And I think as we go, the industry and ourselves will keep pushing the boundaries to reduce our reliance on Portland cement. The second point I'd like to bring up is what we're doing on our portfolio and the discrete products. So we're trying to identify our carbon offender, and try to reduce our reliance on those, substitute them with greener options, and eventually phase some of those products out. And the third point I'd like to bring up is the effort we're doing on quantifying the emissions so that we can identify the best solutions. And this requires still some work from ourselves, other big players in the industry and regulatory bodies in order to be able to quantify and have the right set of assumptions and rules so that we can have a proper quantification of the emissions.
Yes, and now once you have that, you'll be able to do something with it. And I'd like to get your thoughts on digital products. Can you give us what you are doing around digitalisation process in the cementing business at SLB?
Yes, absolutely. So, cementing services for quite a few years have been considered pretty analog and not digital, and it was a bit an old-fashioned way of delivering services. So there has been, over the last few years, massive work done on digitalizing our processes and structuring the data and integrating it. So that's something we've done over the last few years, and now what we're doing is to build digital products on top of that. So this is touching both the design and planning phase, so that we can improve our designing processes, and then we can bring this digital cementing plan to the rig sites and ensure the best service delivery possible, and integrate the execution records to the overall job data so that we can build on that and have data analytics, and build some machine learning modules on top of that in order to improve our design processes so that the next design is going to be always better, and that's the way we're taking.
Well, good to hear, Emmanuel. And actually, I'm interested to get some actual outcomes where digitalization has brought value to the cementing delivery process. Have you got some life examples?
Yes, absolutely, Julian. So maybe the first technology I'll mention is about our real-time top plug depth measurement. So this is a technology for which we're finalizing our field test campaign. This is bringing tremendous value when it comes to identifying the exact depth of the cement plug as we're displacing. As you may know, there are always risks when we displace our cement slurry. Under displacing it can leave a long column of cement to drill out, and then this gives way to rig time, NPT, rent money. And there are risks also related to over-displacing this cement slurry and having zonal isolation issues, wet shoes, and so forth. So having a good understanding of where this top plug is when we're displacing will bring tremendous value for our customers. And this is the outputs of one of our digital answer products. And the second one that I'd like to mention is our Envision RT, which is gaining significant momentum here in the Middle East, and which is enabling us to have a very proper evaluation of our job on real time, so that any deviation from the cement delivery process can be identified on the spot and corrected, avoiding $1 million of a remedial operation further down the road.
Well, Emmanuel, I really appreciate giving your insights and the interesting developments in the cementing business side of SLB, and just thanks for popping by the Energy Connect studio.
Absolutely, thank you so much, Julian.